Good morning, students. In my last class, we had started reading this chapter, the All Americans Slurp, written by Lindsay Namioka. We had completed more than half of this chapter, and now we are left with the ending part of this chapter. So today I'm going to read this for you through this video. You can play this video while you are reading it, and this way you will be able to understand well if you listen to me carefully. But before reading this left out part, I will once again repeat the story that we had read. We read that the Gleason family, American family, they called the Lin family, the Chinese family, for the dinner party, and it was really it was quite uncomfortable for the Lin family, the Chinese family, to take the dishes in complete American manner, because American table manners are completely different from Chinese table manner. So when Mrs. Gleason offered the relish tray to Lin family, and she offered them the celery, it was raw, and it was a salad plate with everything raw. All the vegetables served in this tray were raw, and Chinese people are not used to eat the raw vegetables. They always boil the vegetables before they eat it, and for them, eating raw celery, the raw stalk of celery, was quite uncomfortable for them. It was a new thing for them, and they were actually not prepared for this. Then the second thing was when Mrs. Gleason served them her new recipe, which was with the sour cream and onion flakes with the dash of Tabasco sauce. Chinese people are not used to take anything which is made from the fresh milk. They don't usually use the dairy products. And at that time, narrator was not at all in habit of drinking the milk. So for her, it was also one of the thing which was quite revolting. Revolting means she was not comfortable with it. She didn't want to taste this dish. But anyhow, narrator and her family, the Lin family, they tasted the raw celery with the new recipe of Mrs. Gleason, and they found it quite edible. It was not that bad. They rather enjoyed it, but they had to struggle a lot for peeling the strings of this celery, because they had never ever eaten raw celery, and they always used to remove the strings of the raw celery before boiling it. So while they started peeling the strings of the raw celery, they started creating the zip zip sound, and all the guests who were gathered there, they were seeing them peeling the strings of the celery, and they are creating this zip zip sound. It was also one of the very awkward, very strange moment for them, and the Lin family was quite embarrassed. काफ़ी शर्मिंदा हुए वो जब सारे गेस्ट उनकी तरफ उन्हें देखने लगे. The second thing which created the discomfort for them was when Mrs. Gleason announced that the dinner was ready, and she invited them for the to the dining table, and they saw that there were no chairs around the dining table, so they themselves carried some of the chairs, and they sat around the dining table. Then Mrs. Gleason told them that this is a buffet dinner. You help yourselves to some food and eat it in the living room. Buffet dinner is an open dinner where you are not supposed to sit in a chair and nobody serves the food for you. Yourself have to pick up the food, choose the food for yourself. So this was one more thing they were not aware of. This was one more table manner they were not at all aware. So for them it was little bit discomforting or little bit a new practice to them. And then their family beat the retreat. They came back to the living room and they sat on the sofa as if they are chased by some enemy. And for the rest of the evening, the narrator was too mortified. Mortified means very embarrassed, शर्मिंदा होना. She was so ashamed of herself, शर्म के मारे, क्योंकि उनको खुद खाना सर्व करना था. So she was not comfortable. She didn't even went again to take some food. Rather, she only took a bit of potato salad on her plate. So this way they found it little bit awkward and little bit discomforting or little bit strange to go through the American manner of eating the food, or the American table manners were quite new to them, so they were not at all comfortable. So next day when narrator and Meg went to the school and they talked about the previous night, Meg thanked narrator and she told her that she was hopeful that narrator had enjoyed the dinner last night. And soon narrator's family, the Lynn family, decided to call the Gleasons for the dinner. And when narrator invited Meg and her Gleason family for the dinner, Meg was very very happy, because Meg says, I can hardly wait to have a dinner at your house. I just love Chinese food. So Meg, who was from the Gleason family and who was also a friend of the narrator, was very very excited for the dinner at narrator's house, because she was so much in love with Chinese food and she wanted to taste the Chinese food. राइट तो यहाँ तक हमने लास्ट क्लास में पढ़ा था. इससे आगे अब हम पढ़ने वाले हैं. सो आई विल रीड one by one. I'll try to passage wise I will read, and then I'll try to explain the things to you. So you will listen to me very carefully, and your attentions should, and you have to pay attention to the text so that you are able to understand what I'm reading. So here is the next passage. Mother decided not to take a chance. Since we had Western guests, she set the table with large dinner plates, which we never used in Chinese meals. In fact, we didn't use individual plates at all, but picked up food from the platters in the middle of the table and brought it directly to our rice bowls. Following the practice of Chinese American restaurant, Mother also placed large serving spoons on the platter. So here narrator is talking about her mother. While Lin family had invited their American guest, the Gleason's family, this time, the mother of narrator, she didn't want to take a chance. She knew that her guests were American and their table manners were completely different. So she set the table with large dinner plates. While she set the dinner table, she also put the dinner plates there. Although Chinese are not in habit of putting the individual plates. जो Chinese लोग हैं जब वो dinner करते हैं तो वो individual plates वहाँ पे नहीं रखते हैं. They straightway picked up the food from the platters. वो जो बोल्स में खाना खुद सर्व करते हैं, बोल्स रखते हैं अपने पास, और जो भी खाना प्लेटर से होता है वो उसको अपने आप सर्व करके दे डायरेक्टली टेक इट. बट फॉर देयर अमेरिकन गेस्ट दे स्पेशली picked up, they specially kept the individual plates there so that their American guest can feel comfortable. Following the practice of Chinese American restaurant, It was a practice her mother had seen in some Chinese American restaurant, and she decided to adopt this practice so that her American guest can feel comfortable. Mother also placed large serving spoons on the platters. Platters होता है जो main plate जिसमें खाना रखा जाता है. So she also put the large serving spoons so that the guest can easily take up the food from the platter and they can serve it into their individual plates. The dinner started well. Mrs. Gleason exclaimed at the beautiful arranged dishes of food. At first I was too busy enjoying my food to notice how the guests were doing, but soon I remembered my duties. Sometimes guests were too polite to help themselves and you had to serve them with more food. So in this passage, the narrator says that when our guests arrived, the Gleason family, Meg and her family arrived. We started the dinner and everything was going smooth. Mrs. Gleason exclaimed at the beautiful arranged dishes of food. Please underline the meaning of exclaimed. Exclaimed means showed surprise. Mrs. Gleason was so surprised when she saw the dishes have been kept on the dining table so beautifully. Everything has been decorated so nicely. Everything has been arranged. She was really surprised. So exclaimed means showed surprise. So she showed the surprise at the beautifully arranged dishes. At first I was too busy enjoying my food. Narrator says कि जैसे ही हमने डिनर करना शुरू किया मैं इतनी बिजी हो गई अपना खाना खाने में that I forgot that it is my duty to ask the guest whether they are comfortable or not, whether they want something or not. एक अच्छा होस्ट जो पार्टी होस्ट करता है, एक अच्छा होस्ट उसे माना जाता है जो अपने गेस्ट को खाना खाते वक्त पूछता है कि क्या आप कंफर्टेबल हैं, क्या आप कुछ और लेंगे या नहीं. Right, so these are also the table manners a good host should have. So पहले तो in the beginning the narrator was very busy enjoying the food. पहले तो वो खाना खाने में narrator इतनी busy थी कि वो थोड़ी देर के लिए भूल गई कि मैं एक host हूँ, मेरा काम है अपने guest को पूछना. Then soon I remembered my duties. Sometimes guests were too polite to help themselves. कई बार आपके जो guest हैं वो इतने शर्मीले होते हैं that they are not very open and they are not very comfortable in asking for more food. आपको खुद उन्हें पूछना पड़ता है, right? So you had to serve them with more food. और ये जो बात है ये नरेटर को बहुत सही टाइम पे याद आ गई. And she got up and she started seeing whether her guest wants something more or not. Now we are going to read the next paragraph. Let's see what happens. I glanced at Meg to see if she needed more food, and my eyes nearly popped out at the sight of her plate. It was piled with food. She had been taking food from a second dish before she finished eating her helping from the first. So narrator says that I glanced at Meg. Glanced at Meg means I looked at Meg. If you don't know the meaning of glanced, please write the meaning. Glanced means looked. She says I looked at Meg and I wanted to know if she needed more food and my eyes nearly popped out. I was so surprised. मेरी आँखें बाहर निकल आई, मतलब कि मैं इतनी surprised हुई because my friend Meg was very very comfortable. Her plate was piled with food. Piled with food means full of food. F-U-L-L. Piled with food means it was full of food. She was taking the food without any hesitation. वो बेझिझक होके बड़े आराम से खाना खा रही थी. She had been taking food from a second dish. अभी उसने अपनी first dish complete भी नहीं की थी and she was ready to take the second dish. It shows that her guest Meg was very very comfortable and she was liking all the dishes cooked by narrator's mother. Horrified, I turned to look at Mr. Gleason. He was chasing a pea around his plate. Several times he got it to edge, but when he tried to pick it up with his chopsticks, it rolled back toward the center of the plate again. Finally, he put down his chopsticks and picked up the pea with his fingers. He really did, a grown man. So now narrator says that now when I saw that Meg was quite comfortable and she was very without any hesitation, she was enjoying the dinner. Then I looked at Mr. Gleason. Mr. Gleason is the father of narrator's friend, Meg के father, Mr. Gleason. तो मैंने मिस्टर ग्लीजन की तरफ देखा. ही वॉज चेजिंग अ पी अराउंड हिज प्लेट. चेजिंग अ पी मीन्स पी होता है मटर का दाना. वो एक मटर के दाने को पिक करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे विद द चॉपस्टिक. चाइनीज़ पीपल दे टेक जस्ट लाइक अमेरिकन्स दे यूज़ फोक एंड नाइफ, spoon, fork and knife for picking up the dish, the dishes. The Chinese they use chopstick, जो पेंसिल की तरह होती है लंबी लंबी सी chopstick. They take the help of chopstick to pick up the food and to take it to their mouth, right? So Mr. Gleason was chasing a pea. वो एक मटर के दाने को chopstick से उठाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, which is very difficult practice for an American person who is doing it for the first time. जब आप chopstick से पहली बार खाना खाएंगे तो आपको ये difficult लगेगा, because it's not in you don't usually use chopsticks for taking the dinner, right? जैसे हमको आदत होती है, हम या तो अपने इंडियंस हम हाथ से खाना खाते हैं या फिर हम स्पून से खाना खाते हैं. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा we make the use of a fork, राइट. बट चॉपस्टिक इज़ समथिंग वेरी न्यू फॉर अस. वैसे ही एक अमेरिकन आदमी के लिए भी चॉपस्टिक वॉज द कम्प्लीटली न्यू थिंग. और चॉपस्टिक से मटर का दाना उठाना, इट वॉज अ कम्प्लीट चैलेंज फॉर हिम. सो मिस्टर ग्लीजन विद ग्रेट हार्ड वर्क, विद ग्रेट एफर्ट, ही इज़ ट्राइंग टू पिक अप द पी with the help of the chopstick. It rolled back toward the center of the plate. Every time he is trying to pick it up, जो मटर का दाना था वो गिर के फिर से सेंटर ऑफ द प्लेट के सेंटर पे आ जाता. एंड ही पुट डाउन हिज चॉपस्टिक. फाइनली ही केप्ट हिज चॉपस्टिक्स असाइड एंड ही पिक्ड अप द पी विद हिज फिंगर्स. जब उनसे चॉपस्टिक से नहीं उठाया गया तो उन्होंने अपनी फिंगर्स से वो मटर का दाना उठाया और उसे मुंह में डाल दिया. एंड द नरेटर वॉज वॉचिंग हिम एंड शी वॉज ऑलमोस्ट एट द वर्ज ऑफ लाफिंग अलाउड. उसको हंसी, नरेटर ने जब ये देखा उनको नरेटर को हंसी आ गई, बिकॉज द ग्रोन अप मैन वॉज बिहेविंग लाइक अ चाइल्ड. उसने जब ये देखा तो उसे ऐसे लगा कि इतने बड़े अंकल एक बच्चे की तरह एक मटर के दाने के पीछे पड़े हैं, और जब उनसे चॉपस्टिक से वो नहीं उठाया गया, देन ही यूज्ड हिज फिंगर्स फॉर पुटिंग इट इनटू हिज माउथ. इट मेड द नरेटर लाफ. ऑल ऑफ अस, our family and the Chinese guests stopped eating to watch the activities of the Gleasons. I wanted to giggle. Then I caught my mother's eyes on me. While now this was the time when Gleason family was struggling to eat the dinner in Chinese way, right? जैसे उनके घर पे जब लिन फैमिली गई थी तो जिस तरह से लिन फैमिली को कुछ एक कुछ चीज़ों को लेकर चैलेंज फेस करना पड़ा while they were taking the dinner. In the same way, अब लिन फैमिलीज चाइनीज़ फैमिली में आकर जो ग्लीजन फैमिली थी, they were also feeling quite uncomfortable while taking the dinner in Chinese manner. उनके लिए भी चाइनीज़ टेबल मैनर्स बिल्कुल नए थे, तो वो भी पूरी तरह से कंफर्टेबल नहीं थे. एंड ऑल द चाइनीज़ गेस्ट एंड आवर फैमिली, वी ऑल वर वॉचिंग द एक्टिविटीज़ ऑफ द ग्लीजन. वी वर वॉचिंग देम दैट दे वर नॉट कंफर्टेबल. वी वर वॉचिंग हाउ मिस्टर ग्लीजन वॉज ट्राइंग टू चेज अ पी with the chopstick, and finally he used his fingers to put it into his mouth, right? So it was very funny scene. अमेरिकन्स को चाइनीज़ स्टाइल में खाना खाते हुए देखना बड़ा फ़नी था. एंड आई वॉन्टेड टू गिगल. गिगल मीन्स लाफ. यू कैन राइट द मीनिंग ऑफ इट इफ़ यू हैवेंट नोटेड, if you don't know the meaning. Giggle means laugh. So I wanted to laugh, मुझे इतना फ़नी लग रहा था ग्लीज़न फैमिली को देखकर, जिस तरह से वो खाना खा रहे थे, चाइनीज़ वे में वो खाना खाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, चाइनीज़ डिशेस को खाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे. इट वॉज सो फनी दैट आई wanted to laugh. Then I caught my mother's eyes on me, and then I saw that my mother was looking at me. She frowned and shook her head slightly. Frowned means she showed anger. Underline this word frowned. F-R-O-W-N-E-D. Frowned means showed anger. My mother showed anger. मेरी मदर को गुस्सा आ गया. उन्होंने गुस्से से मुझे देखा, घूरते हुए मुझे देखा कि don't try to laugh at your guest. You are the host. You are not supposed to make fun of your guest, especially when they are from a different culture, when they are from a different country, when their table manners are completely different. And and I understood the message. The Gleasons were not used to Chinese way and they were just coping the best they could. जैसे हम जब उनके फैमिली में गए थे, हम अमेरिकन मैनर में अमेरिकन टेबल मैनर्स को देखकर अनकंफर्टेबल फील कर रहे थे, उसी तरह से ग्लीजन्स भी अब हमारे घर पर आकर चाइनीज़ टेबल मैनर्स को देखकर थोड़ा अनकंफर्टेबल फील कर रहे थे. बट दे वर trying their best to adopt the Chinese table manners. For some reason, I thought of celery strings. So while my mother showed her angry eyes to me, then it reminded me of the celery strings. How we were also looking very funny when we were trying to remove the strings, when we were trying to peel the strings of the celery while we were eating it and all the guests were looking at us. So it was also the equally a funny moment. And then my mother's anger reminded me of that, and then I stopped laughing. When the main courses were finished, main courses mean जो main डिनर होता है आपका, जैसे इस कोर्सेज में होता है, पहले आप स्नैक्स ऑफ़र करते हैं, देन यू ऑफ़र द सूप, then you offer the dinner, and then in the end you offer something sweet, right? So main course is the main dinner. When the main courses were finished, mother brought out a platter of food. अब खाना जब dinner complete हो गया, after that my mother brought a big plate full of fruits. I hope you weren't expecting a sweet dessert, she said. Since the Chinese don't eat dessert, I didn't think to prepare any. Please underline this. I hope, for your reference to context, I hope you weren't expecting a sweet dessert. Since the Chinese don't eat dessert, I didn't think to prepare any. So her mother apologized her American guest. Narrator's mother apologized her American guest. She said, I'm very sorry, but we Chinese don't serve any sweet dish after the dinner. Chinese table manners completely different हैं Western manners से. Western way of serving the dinner is to serve something sweet at the end. Even we Indians do it. जब भी हम खाना खाते हैं उसके बाद हम अपने गेस्ट को एंड में स्वीट डेजर्ट मीन्स समथिंग स्वीट डिश, राइट? सो वी सर्व सम स्वीट डिश, बट चाइनीज़ डोंट डू दिस. तो इसीलिए नरेटर की मदर ने उनसे माफ़ी मांगी अपने गेस्ट से, और उन्होंने कहा दैट वी चाइनीज़ डोंट ईट एनी डेजर्ट, सो आई डिडंट प्रिपेयर एनी स्वीट डिश. ओह, आई कुडंट पॉसिबली ईट डेजर्ट. प्लीज़ अंडरलाइन दिस डायलॉग ऑल्सो. Oh, I couldn't possibly eat dessert, cried Mrs. Gleason. I am simply stuffed. Then Mrs. Gleason didn't mind it at all. She said, I am not even looking for a sweet dish. I don't want any sweet dish because I am simply stuffed. Simply stuffed means I am full. मेरा पेट खाना खा के पूरी तरह भर चुका है. So I don't think that you need to serve any sweet dish. Meg had different ideas. When the table was cleared, she announced that she and I were going for a walk. I don't know about you, but I feel like dessert, she told me when we were outside. Come on, there's a Dairy Queen down the street. I could use a big chocolate milkshake. Please underline this dialogue. Come on, there's a Dairy Queen down the street. I could use a big chocolate milkshake. So Meg, narrator's friend, she had a different opinion. She wanted to have something sweet. उसे कुछ ना कुछ मीठा खाना था. So she when the table was cleared and when they were done with the dinner, she announced that she and narrator would go for a walk. And she said, I don't know about you, but I feel like desert. What does it mean, feel like desert? Please underline it just the way I have underlined. Feel like desert means I want to eat sweet dish. I want to eat dessert. मुझे दिल कर रहा है कुछ मीठा खाने का. So let's go out. There is Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is the name of a shop that has dairy products, right? So she said, there is Dairy Queen down the street. Let's go there. I could use a big chocolate milkshake. I want to drink a big glass of chocolate milkshake. Although I didn't really want anything more to eat, I insisted on paying for the milkshake. After all, I was still the hostess. So the narrator says, although I was stuffed with the food, I was full. I had no wish to eat anything. But I insisted. Insisted hota hai forced. I forced. Insisted means forced. F-O-R-C-E-D. F-O-R-C-E-D. I forced on paying for the milkshake because I was the hostess. इस बार मैग मेरी मेहमान थी और मैं होस्ट थी, इसलिए मैंने उसको फोर्स किया कि बिल मैं पे करूँगी. राइट, यू विल ड्रिंक द मिल्क शेक बट आई विल पे द बिल फॉर द मिल्क शेक. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंड देन. Meg got her large chocolate milkshake and I had a small one. So when they went to this dairy shop, there Meg drank a large glass of chocolate milkshake and I had a small one. Even so, she was finishing hers while I was only half done. Meg was so much in mood of drinking the milkshake that I have not even completed my small glass of chocolate shake. She had almost completed her large glass of chocolate milkshake. Toward the end, she pulled hard on her straw and went shloop shloop. So in the end, when her glass was completely empty, she was trying to drink the last drops left into the glass. She was trying to left inside the glass. She was trying to drink those last drops with her straw, and she was making a shloop shloop sound. Shloop shloop is here the sound one creates. आपने देखा होगा जब आप ग्लास कई बार हम जैसे कोई कोल्ड कॉफ़ी पीते हैं या फिर स्ट्रॉ से, या फिर वी आर ड्रिंकिंग सम जूस. सो when we have completed drinking it just, और हमको बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है उसको पीने में, so just to enjoy the last few drops that are left in the glass, हम उसको we try to pull it into our mouths with the help of the straw, and then it creates a shloop shloop sound. So here shloop shloop is the sound that was created while Meg was trying to pull hard on her straw. So please underline this last dialogue. It's also very important for the reference to context. Yes. Do you always slurp when you eat the milkshake? I asked before I could stop myself. So I found it so awkward जब मेरी फ्रेंड स्ट्रॉ से वो मिल्क शेक को स्लर्प करके साउंड क्रिएट करके पीने की कोशिश कर रही थी. तो मैंने अपनी फ्रेंड से पूछा, डू यू ऑलवेज स्लर्प? स्लर्प मीन्स मेकिंग द श्लुप श्लुप साउंड, मेकिंग द साउंड when you are trying to suck something, जब आप किसी चीज़ को चूसने की कोशिश करते हैं या straw से उसको pull करने की कोशिश करते हैं, the kind of sound it creates, we call it slurp. So I ask my friend, do you always slurp when you eat a milkshake? See, she is using this expression, eat a milkshake. We don't eat milkshake, we drink milkshake. But why narrator is using this expression, eat a milkshake? It's not an error. ये गलती से नहीं लिखा है, ये जानबूझ के इसको उसी तरह से लिखा गया है जिस तरह से नरेटर ने बोला. Do you always slurp when you eat a milkshake? Because Chinese people, they don't enjoy dairy products, they don't take dairy products. Usually they are not in habit of drinking milkshakes. तो उनके लिए drink करना या eat करना is the same practice. This is why she is using it. Otherwise the exact expression should have been you drink a milkshake. लेकिन she is using this expression, eat a milkshake, out of ignorance, because as a Chinese she is not in habit of drinking the milkshake, so it was just like eating it. So that's why she's using it. I asked before I could stop myself. Meg grinned. Meg started laughing. You will underline this entire reference. And then Meg grinned. Meg started laughing. She said, sure, all Americans slurp. It means all Americans create this shloop shloop sound when they drink the milkshake, because Americans love drinking milkshakes. They love dairy products, and this is their habit of enjoying the milkshake by creating the shloop shloop sound when they are finished with the milkshake, right? So this way your chapter is complete, right? You will read this chapter on your own. एक बार आप इस chapter को अपने आप पढ़िए, right? If you are having any although I try to clarify the meaning of each word that was new for you in this chapter, but still if you have any doubts or if there is any paragraph you are not able to understand, then you can contact me, you can message me, or you can call me. I'll try to clarify your confusion, right? And in my next class I will discuss the answers of the questions that are given here. I'll discuss these answers. You can do one thing after reading this. You can write the answers in the rough, not very detailed answer. Write the answers in brief. This way आपका रिवीजन भी हो जाएगा और आपकी लिखने की प्रैक्टिस भी हो जाएगी, right? And side by side I am there to give to reveal the answers for you. That's not the problem, right? But do read it. Reading is the must, and especially go through these dialogues that I have made you underline. Okay, so see you in the next class. Till then, keep reading, keep working hard, and enjoy.